Hey there, and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Man United handed injury boost for FA Cup semi-final with key winger back in training. Manchester United have been handed an injury boost with Antony back in team training ahead of the FA Cup semi-final against Coventry City this weekend. The Red Devils went winless for the fourth straight league game on Saturday. They played out a 2-2 draw against Bournemouth after a brace from Bruno Fernandes. Antony missed the South Coast trip with an undefined injury, but the Brazilian was all smiles as he reported for Tuesday's training session at Carrington. Antony has had a difficult second season at United. He has managed just one assist from 25 Premier League games and has yet to find the back of the net. Despite this, he has shown plenty of improvement. The 24-year-old scored a crucial equalizer in the second half of the FA Cup quarter-final win over Liverpool. Antony was also brilliant in the 4-3 Premier League loss at Chelsea. He delivered a fantastic Trivela assist while making 8 ball recoveries and completing 6 dribbles. Manager Erik ten Hag surprisingly dropped him to the bench for the 2-2 draw against Liverpool before he was absent for the visit of Bournemouth, which ended all square. In our view, Antony deserves to make the starting lineup on Sunday based on recent displays, but we won't be surprised if Ten Hag continues with Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford out wide. United are clear favourites to beat Coventry at Wembley, but they can't be complacent against the Championship outfit who stunned Wolverhampton Wanderers with a 3-2 win in the quarter-final at the Molineux Stadium with 2 late stoppage time goals. Rafael Varan tipped to complete sensational summer switch to Chelsea. The futures of multiple defenders are up in the air as new co-owners INEOS mull over a defensive overhaul after such a poor season for the club, with the 20-time English League champions staring down the barrel at their worst ever league finish. The most high-profile departure will be that of Raphael Varane, whose contract with the club ends in June instead of 2025 as previously advertised. The Frenchman, who had earlier claimed he was open to retiring at Old Trafford, was disappointed to see the club not trigger the one-year extension option in his current deal. There were talks of a new deal on reduced wages, but as recently relayed by the People's Person, Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants to clear the wage bill, and the former Real Madrid superstar is the club's highest earner, and the British billionaire wants to move him on. With his recent injury record not looking too bright and considering his advancing years, Saudi Arabia was considered the 30-year-old's most likely next destination. Former England international Glenn Johnson feels the former France international can still do a job in the English top flight and tipped the United centre-back to complete a sensational move to fierce rivals Chelsea. The Blues have also endured a difficult campaign, currently languishing in ninth, and with the youngest squad in the division, they are in need of experienced winners. If Thiago Silva leaves, a huge void would be created, and a free move for Varane actually makes sense, and his injury record would not be as concerning. Varane has made 93 appearances for the Red Devils since his €40 million move 3 years ago, with 30 of them coming this season. United would have little power to stop the deal from occurring if Varane has his heart set on the move. It will be interesting to see what happens with the defender this summer. Tottenham Hotspur and Juventus eyeing soon-to-be free agent Antony Martial. Erik ten Hag has asked for reinforcement from the club in the summer and in January, but due to FFP restrictions, nothing was forthcoming. United's number 9 Antony Martial has been of very little help, mainly being sidelined and likely to leave in the summer, with the club choosing not to extend his contract. The Frenchman has been an enigma during his 9-year stay at the club, unstoppable on his day, while on other occasions he has either been invisible on the pitch or injured. Despite not coming close to fulfilling his immense potential, lots of clubs are ready to take a punt on the soon-to-be free agent. The People's Person recently relayed that Barcelona are keen to sign the France international due to their financial limitation, while Saudi Arabian clubs are also keen, though the player himself is not too interested. Inter Milan are also eyeing a move for the 28-year-old, and now, according to Tuttosport, via Sport Witness, fellow Serie A outfit Juventus have also joined the race. The Turin-based club's top priority was to sign Lazio striker Felipe Anderson, but the player is set to join Palmeiras on a free transfer, and hence they have moved on to Martial as their first alternative. There has been contact between Juventus and the versatile United man, but his salary request could prove to be a stumbling block, with the forward asking for €6 million per year. That is, however, not the most interesting part of the report, as the article also mentions the Old Trafford. As the article also mentions, the Old Lady will face stiff competition from a Premier League side, Tottenham Hotspur, for the former Monaco starlet. Ange Postecoglou's side have been in impressive form this season, and with no Harry Kane in their team, they need a striker who can help Son up front. Richarlison has not managed that, while Timo Werner is currently on loan at Spurs. A free move for Martial, therefore, makes sense, and they would have no problem in paying a handsome salary. But his poor injury record could be a problem. While Postecoglou prefers players with fire in their belly, Martial is certainly not that type of player. Sancho open to Man United stay, but only if Ten Hag leaves the club this summer. Manchester United outcast Jadon Sancho is open to restarting his career at Old Trafford, but only if Erik Ten Hag leaves the club at the end of the season, INEOS reports. The manager's future has come under intense scrutiny as his United side have struggled to assert themselves in the race for a Champions League slot. Inconsistent results have left the Red Devils trailing the top four by 13 points, although they are level on points with sixth placed Newcastle United. Ten Hag's role will be scrutinized this summer, and a potential exit could hand Sancho a new lease at Old Trafford. His future at the Theatre of Dreams appeared dead in the water when he joined Borussia Dortmund on loan in January after failing to call a truce with Ten Hag. However, the 24-year-old is not giving up on his United career and would welcome a chance to prove himself at Old Trafford if Ten Hag is replaced this summer. Sir Jim Ratcliffe remains a big fan of Ten Hag's work despite the Dutchman's struggles, but he could be forced to reconsider his stance if United don't improve before the end of the season. Missing out on a Champions League place would significantly hurt the club's finances, but they are still in contention to secure qualification for the Europa League. The relationship between Sancho and Ten Hag is way past the breaking point at this stage, and the manager's departure is the only way an Old Trafford return could be feasible for the Dortmund loanee. Sancho's return to Signal Iduna Park has been far from electrifying, bagging just a goal and 2 assists in 10 Bundesliga games, and United preference remains to cut him loose permanently. Incoming technical director Jason Wilcox is open to giving Sancho another chance. However, United are keen to revamp a massively underwhelming squad, and Sancho is one of several players on the chopping block. Man United expected to be in conversation for Benjamin Sesko. Manchester United are expected to be in the conversation for RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko, according to reputed journalist Ben Jacobs. The Red Devils currently have Rasmus Højlund as their main striker, but they need a quality competitor alongside him next season, with Anthony Martial set to leave the club. Martial has had another injury-plagued campaign. The Frenchman is widely anticipated to be released when his contract expires at the end of June. United are on the hunt for a potential successor, and speaking to the United stand, Jacobs expect the Red Devils to be in the running to sign Sesko. He said, "There is a feeling within Manchester United that Rasmus will better his tally next season. I'd expect United to be in the conversation for Sesko. Martial is leaving. Greenwood. United are likely to get a fee for." Sesko had a slow start to his debut campaign with Leipzig. He was a regular on the bench, with Yusuf Poulsen and Lua Openda preferred ahead of him. However, he has transformed his fortunes during the back end of the campaign. The Slovenian has scored or assisted in each of his previous 8 league starts. Overall, the 20-year-old has managed 13 goals this campaign, one in every 132 minutes. In our opinion, he would be a perfect competitor to Højlund next season. Sesko would ensure that the Dane does not take his place for granted up front. United may not need to overpay for the youngest striker this summer. There is a release clause worth €50 million, which will become valid from June onwards. Man United should sign informed striker Serhou Guirassy, available for €20 million. Manchester United should grab the opportunity to sign Stuttgart striker Serhou Guirassy, who is available for just €20 million during the summer transfer window. The Red Devils currently have Rasmus Højlund as their main striker, but the club are expected to pursue a new centre forward, with Anthony Martial anticipated to leave. Martial has spent most of the season on the sidelines with injuries. He is currently out of action after a groin surgery and could depart when his contract expires in June. According to Bild, United knocked on the door of Guirassy at the start of the year, and in our opinion, the club should revive their interest when the transfer window reopens. The Red Devils were interested in signing the Guinea international in January. As per Fabrizio Romano, a deal was very close, but United could not afford his low release clause amid financial fair play issues. Guirassy ended up staying with Stuttgart, where he has been in scintillating form. The 27-year-old has scored 27 goals from just 25 appearances for the Bundesliga side this campaign. This has included 7 goals from his last 6 games for Sebastian Hoeneß's side, who look on course to return to the Champions League. They only narrowly avoided relegation last term. Aside from the Red Devils, West Ham United have also been linked with the striker, but Erik ten Hag's side should have the upper hand, with Guirassy reportedly flattered by the interest. Guirassy would be a quality understudy and competitor for Højlund. He has a stunning shot-to-goal conversion rate of 34% this season, with a passing accuracy of 81%. Man United want to watch for forward transfer. Arsenal and Chelsea now considered unlikely. Manchester United could be a team to watch in the race for the transfer of Brentford striker Antony this summer, according to journalist Ben Jacobs. The England international is approaching the final year of his Brentford contract, which could mean he will attract plenty of interest this summer. But for the moment, Jacob seems to think Arsenal and Chelsea are unlikely to revisit this potential deal. Speaking exclusively to Cout Offside for his latest daily briefing column, Jacobs explained that Man United could potentially be a name to keep an eye on with Tony, but only if his asking price drops, though it remains possible that the 28-year-old could also run his contract down and leave on a free in summer 2025. One imagines Brentford will not allow Tony to leave for anything like the £30-40 million that has been mentioned in the media, with Jacobs expecting it to be higher than that, which might potentially put bidders off coming in for a player of his age who is just a year away from being a free agent. United are little light up front at the moment, so could Tony be an ideal option for them? It seems Jacobs expect there could be interest if the money is right. He said, Tony is still keeping his options open. I don't think he will join either Arsenal or Chelsea. Both have other options higher on their list of possibilities, at least for this summer. Manchester United could still be one to watch, especially if the asking price drops. I'm not aware of Brentford being willing to accept £30-40 million, despite some reports. I still expect the price to be much higher. He added, "It will be very surprising if Tony is sold for a bargain fee, and if he's picked for Euro 2024, then his summer value and the number of suitors considering him will only rise further." As we wrap up today's Manchester United news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.